Hello Wolfpack, market update. Obviously it's been a pretty stressful couple of weeks because we've seen this unexpected correction across the market, and it is unexpected. It is an unexpected correction, and those that say it's not, I don't know what to say. Maybe they're just perma bears who've been bearish since 29k, I guess, because all of the cyclical theory, everything we've ever looked at, points to the fact that we shouldn't be doing this right now. What does point to the fact that we should be doing this right now is this pattern right here that we saw. We saw a higher high, slightly higher high, not really, and you can see we had a rounding out formation. And from that whole point, you will remember in my videos, I was getting a little bearish. I didn't like the look of the structure, but I was relying on the cyclical theory, and then we came up and we made this lower high, and that was basically the nail in the coffin for Bitcoin. And I said, around 66k, I said, we're going to go down to 58k, and we have to hold 58k for the short term cyclical theory based bullish momentum to continue. We have to hold 58k. We've currently lost 58k, right? And that's very critical. And a lot of people understate how critical that is, but it actually is extremely important that we needed to hold that point. Now, we still have 30 minutes from daily close, so I don't want to speak too soon, but from what I'm seeing, we're not going to hold it, right? And from what I'm seeing, we're actually seeing a classic red, green, red candle formation, which is typically a very bullish formation that kind of suggests the downtrend's going to continue. The reason why this market correction is incredibly interesting to me is the fact that we have so much bullish divergence all across the market, and the market actually looks so oversold, incredibly oversold, that it's absolutely baffling to me that we did not bounce at 58k. I was fully expecting a bounce at 58k until, and you'll remember this from my tweets yesterday, until we broke this grey uptrending line there. That's when I thought that maybe this is looking very, very bad, and we did manage to actually break to the downside. Not only did we break to the downside, but we came up and we tried to break back in, and we just couldn't get through, and we dropped even further, which is another terrible sign for Bitcoin. Look, it's looking rough, but, even now, even undersold, even when we've retested this and failed to the downside, we have this bullish divergence. So it's confusing. It's very confusing, even for me as an analyst. I've been doing market analysis for years, and it's very, very confusing time in the market because not only are we going against the cyclical theory to a certain extent, we're also so undersold and still dropping, which just gives you an idea of how much fear there is in the market. And, do I think there's going to be a bounce? Yes, 100%. I 100% think there's going to be a bounce. Can I tell you exactly where it's going to be? I think 53k, but honestly, I think maybe there's a good chance it will happen above 53k. But it's incredible because the market is so oversold right now that it's actually hard to say, because I think we should have bounced over here, right? That's what the technicals are telling me, but we just didn't do it. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just waiting, all right? I'm just waiting, and I'm just watching the market and waiting to see what's going to happen. Now, if we do see a bounce, we have a bullish MACD cross on the hourly, but not only on the hourly, on the 4 hourly, on the daily, coming in, that would support us on that bounce. So we could actually see a strong bounce. But look, the most likely bottom, in my opinion, based off the technicals that I'm looking at, right, is 53k. Is there a chance we bottom out above that region? Yeah, look, there is. We have a massive block on the VVPR in this entire region between around 54 and 57. So we're in that block now. So there is a chance we bottom out in that region. We also have the POC there at around 55.9 from what I was looking at just then. But I think 53k is the most likely bottom, just due to the fact that it was our top. So a retest would make sense. And also we saw a bottom out at 53k multiple times in the previous run up, and also testing it for resistance a few times as well. So look, there's definitely a chance we bottom out above 53k, and we'd be completely open to that happening. In fact, it'd be great to see, because 53k is really cutting it close for the state of the bull market. But we really want to be seeing it close above. Now, the reason why Bitcoin is very concerning right now, and the reason why I haven't been making many videos, is because I've been trying to collect my thoughts about what's actually happening here in the market. Because if we look at the previous cycles, right, and a lot of what I do is based on cyclical theory. And just to preface this, right, nothing has been invalidated yet. Nothing has been invalidated yet. And I'll tell you why I say yet, right? I say yet because Bitcoin is actually just undergoing technically a normal market correction in which we make lower lows. Now, the reason why 53k is very important is not only the fact that we have this high here in September. If we drop below that high, we're back into this hole in construction between May and September there. We don't want to be back in that construction. Staying above 53k is absolutely critical to staying in a bull market type region, right? Below that, it's a bearish region. Another reason why I'm very, very concerned about 53k is the fact that if we zoom out on the VVPR, we can see that 53k is quite literally a middle ground between massive selling from bear market action and massive buying from bull market action, right? It's sitting right there in the crevice, right? So dropping below 53k would actually send us probably downwards further into this massive chunk of the VVPR between around 40k and 30k. That's my concern with 53k. I don't see bullish structure remaining alive below 53k. I just don't see it. If we drop 53k, I'm going to have to change my price prediction. I'm going to have to change something because I seriously don't see how we could go below 53k and then come up to 100k. You know, not even by January, but just in general. You know, this year, next year, I don't think it's going to happen, right? I think that even the people who think lengthening cycles theory is a thing, I think they should be looking at 53k as well. Because look at 53k. We have the 100 SMA. We have the bull market support band that will be tracking up towards it. We have this high here in September. We have the crevice on the VVPR. I could bring up multiple more things. Not only all of that, we're seeing bullish divergences on the hourly, 4-hourly, daily chart. If we drop below 53k, that would be a 10k drop from our initial bullish divergence, which means that it wouldn't even matter anymore. The market would just go into full panic mode, right? So look, 53k is definitely important. Now, the reason I'm stressed, and the reason I said that 58k would be the best bottoming zone, and the reason why I've sold my altcoins that are in profit, and yes, I have sold my altcoins that are in profit. I haven't sold all of my altcoins, right? The ones that are at losses, I'm happy to hold them for a little bit longer. But I've sold my altcoins that are in profit because I'm not willing to sit around and watch my altcoins drop 20% between 58k and 53k. It's just not going to happen. They're already down 10% from what I sold. So I'm happy to take profits, and quite frankly, I'm way happier buying in slightly higher than I normally would have than risking a 20% drop and then risking something that actually won't recover, right? Will I buy at 53k? If we go to 53k, will I buy? Yes, I will. And I'll tell you why. Because even if we don't see a bounce up to new bull market highs, right, I think we probably will, but there's definitely a considerable chance that we won't, right? I said 58k is the prime bottom, 58k, we've lost that. So if we go to 53k, there is a very considerable chance that we won't actually continue up the the bull market highs, but I think we will. But what I do think we'll see is a bounce regardless, a dead cat bounce, probably up testing 58k once again, or possibly 60k, because there is abundance of support in that region, and lots of people are waiting to buy at 53k. So I think we will see a bounce of 53k regardless. So I will be picking up some stuff at 53k, try and get a short-term swing trade on, and if it goes above 60k again, then I can hold that stuff that I bought again. Now, if we bounce in the middle here, we bounce at 56k, 55k, you know, I'll just have to wait and see what happens. If we get above, you know, say 62k again, 61.3k or something like that, that's when I'll be looking to re-enter. But I'm really not interested in buying in the mid 50s to high 50s region. It's either going to be 53k or it's going to be the low 60s or mid 60s. You know, I'm really, this is kind of a zone in the market where I'm not interested in taking any action. It's too indecisive. No one really knows enough about what's going on. Let's look at the previous cycles. In the previous cycles, we had, all of this was predicted, right? We had this correction here, this correction we saw, and we've gone over this so many times, but the November and late October corrections, we went up to new all-time highs, right? And then we had actually a correction into November, which is interesting because that's what we're seeing right now. And that's 2017, okay? And we stopped that correction on Thanksgiving, Black Friday. The reason why I'm stressed, right? The reason why I'm stressed is because we should be having this correction up in the high 60Ks, not in the low 50Ks or the mid 50Ks, right? We can see this correction happened at all-time highs, and it was actually just flipping this region for support in 2017. Yes, the market is different, percentages are different, so it's possible that it could be different. But holding 58k was very critical, right? This is basically what we're seeing now is this playing out perfectly, but also now we're correcting down here instead of up here. So it's interesting to see. Let's look at 2013. In 2013, we can see we had a massive upwards trend. We did actually correct on the same days we're correcting right now, November 19th and November 20th. And then we moved up for Black Friday and Thanksgiving, which is our saving grace that we're really looking forward to, right? 24th and 25th. We really need those to kick off the bull market again. If that doesn't happen, I'm not sure what is going to happen. But this actually happened way above at new all-time highs as well, which we're just not seeing on Bitcoin right now. So we are, technically having a similar structure to the cyclical theory, but it's nowhere near the price we need to be. We should be doing this above 70k right now, in my personal opinion. We should be doing this correction above 70k. We should be above here, and we should be flipping 78k, and then Thanksgiving and Black Friday should be pushing us way higher. That's what we should be doing right now, according to what I'm seeing from the cyclical theory, and we're simply just not doing that. So I'm not confident enough to be in the market right now fully. So look, it's an interesting time. Ethereum is another one, and this is another reason why we're not fully focused, we're not fully holding the cyclical theory as well as we should be. Now, again, we had this late November dip, we had this late November correction in 2017, we're having that right now, but it didn't take us down to retest this blue line, and right now we're retesting the blue line, which is our previous all-time highs. It's pretty clear that up until this point, the cyclical theory has been 100% accurate, literally 100% accurate, and I'm not going to explain that, I've done it in many videos, but right now, we're seeing a little divergence from it, and it's nothing too concerning yet. But certainly, if we drop below 53k on Bitcoin, that's probably going to be, I'm going to go as far as to say that's probably going to be the nail in the coffin for the bull market, in my personal opinion. Obviously, we're going to have to reanalyze when we get there, and obviously, I'm not saying if we drop below it for 3 seconds, right? If we start closing a couple daily candles below there, a few daily candles, and it starts to go into high 40s, it's pretty clear that we're not going to have the momentum to push up as expected towards the end of the year and start of next year. So, very critical time for Bitcoin. Not only are we fighting for the current state of the market, we're also fighting for the survival of the cyclical theory as we know it. And it's very important that survives, right? Because once we lose that cyclical theory, once we lose the Q4 part of the cyclical theory, we start to lose predictability in the market. And we want predictability in the market. We want to be able to say, every December or every January we're going to top out. We want to be able to say every September we're going to bottom out. We want to be able to say every July we're going to have a pump. We want to be able to say every May we're going to have a correction, because then we can do it over and over and over again. I don't understand why people are so willing to want for a lengthening cycles theory, want for a golden cycle or whatever it's called, super cycle, right? Because if we have that, we're going in blind, right? We don't have any of the previous trends to help us. Yes, we have fractals, but it's not the same. So it really is critical for Bitcoin to hold 53k here, sorry. Very, very critical. And I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen. I will be buying coins when it reaches 53k, regardless of whether it's a pump or a dead cat bounce. Because even on a dead cat bounce, as I've mentioned in previous videos, even on a dead cat bounce at 53k, I think that altcoins are going to go a little bit ballistic and make some super gains over there. So look, there is opportunity to make gains regardless of what is going to happen here. It's just going to be very interesting to see how it plays out. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Catch you in the next one.